Have you ever found yourself pondering about the meaning of life? It's a question as old as human consciousness itself, a universal wonderment that transcends cultures, time, and individual experiences. Why are we here? What's our purpose? What does it all mean? This is where philosophy steps in. Derived from the Greek words philos meaning love and sophia meaning wisdom, philosophy is essentially the love of wisdom. It's a tool, a system of thought that helps us navigate the labyrinth of life's big questions. From the moment human beings developed the capacity for introspective thought, we've been philosophers. The caveman staring at the stars, the ancient scholar scribbling on papyrus, the modern-day student questioning the status quo, all philosophers in their own right. Philosophy, in essence, is an exploration of ideas about truth, meaning, nature of reality, beauty, love, mind, ethics, and existence itself. It's a journey that doesn't necessarily promise answers, but encourages the quest for understanding, the pursuit of knowledge. Imagine life as an intricate tapestry, woven with threads of experiences, emotions, and events. Philosophy helps us see the patterns, understand the interconnections, and appreciate the grand design. It's like a compass, guiding us through the wilderness of existence, helping us make sense of the world and our place in it. In a world filled with uncertainties, philosophy offers a beacon of clarity. It encourages us to question, to probe deeper, to challenge accepted norms and beliefs. It's not just about understanding the world, but about improving it, about harnessing the power of ideas to transform realities. From Socrates' probing questions to Nietzsche's existential musings, philosophy has been the bedrock of human thought, shaping societies, influencing policies, and inspiring revolutions. It's not just an academic discipline, but a way of life, a guide to living with wisdom, authenticity, and purpose. So when we ask, what's the meaning of life? We're stepping into the realm of philosophy. We're embarking on a quest that has engaged the finest minds in history, a journey that promises not just knowledge, but wisdom. So philosophy helps us navigate these profound questions about our existence. Our philosophical journey begins in the ancient times. Picture a world where civilizations are just beginning to take shape, where the mysteries of existence are being pondered upon for the first time. This is where our philosophical journey takes us first, to the cradle of ancient civilizations like Egypt, India, and Greece, where philosophy was born. In Egypt, the seeds of philosophy were sown with their profound understanding of cosmology and spirituality. The Egyptians were among the first to contemplate the nature of the universe, the existence of the soul, and the concept of eternal life, laying the foundation for metaphysical thought. Meanwhile, in the verdant plains and high mountain passes of ancient India, philosophy took a different form. The Upanishads, ancient philosophical texts, pondered questions of reality, self, and the ultimate truth. The thoughts and ideas expressed in these texts continue to influence philosophical thought today. However, it was in Greece, a land of city-states and democracy, where philosophy truly found its footing. Here, a trio of thinkers emerged, whose ideas would shape the course of philosophy for centuries to come: Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Socrates, the father of Western philosophy, was a radical thinker who challenged the status quo and urged people to question everything. He believed that the pursuit of knowledge was the highest form of human endeavor. His student, Plato, took Socrates' teachings and expanded upon them. He proposed the theory of forms, suggesting that our world is but a shadow of a more perfect, ideal world. And then there was Aristotle, the student of Plato and the teacher of Alexander the Great. Aristotle was a polymath who contributed to numerous fields, from biology to ethics. His philosophy was grounded in empirical observation and logical reasoning, a stark contrast to Plato's idealism. These ancient thinkers laid the groundwork for what we now call philosophy. Their questions about the nature of reality, the pursuit of truth, and the meaning of a good life continue to echo through the corridors of time, shaping our understanding of the world and our place in it. These ancient thinkers laid the groundwork for what we now call philosophy. As we move into the medieval period, philosophy takes a religious turn. A fascinating shift, wouldn't you agree? In contrast to the human-centered philosophies of ancient Greece, the medieval era saw philosophy wrapped up in the divine, the spiritual, and the metaphysical. At the heart of this shift were philosophers like St. Augustine, a figure whose works continue to resonate even today. Augustine's philosophy was deeply rooted in his Christian faith, but he was also a man of reason. He was convinced that faith and reason were not at odds, but rather they complemented each other. Augustine believed that by using reason, one could gain a deeper understanding of faith, and vice versa. In his view, philosophy was not a threat to religious belief, but a tool that could enrich it. Fast forward to the 13th century, and we encounter Thomas Aquinas, another philosopher who sought to reconcile faith and reason. Aquinas was a Dominican friar who studied Aristotle's works and tried to integrate them with Christian theology. He proposed that truths could be discovered through both divine revelation and human reason. His work, known as Thomistic philosophy, shaped much of the Catholic Church's philosophy and theology. But let's not forget about the Islamic philosophers of the medieval era. Philosophers like Al-Farabi, Avicenna, and Averroes also played a significant role in bridging faith and reason. They interpreted and expanded upon the works of ancient Greek philosophers, paving the way for the European Renaissance. The medieval period was a time when philosophy and religion intertwined, each influencing and shaping the other. It was a time when philosophers didn't shy away from asking tough questions about faith, God, and the nature of reality. These philosophers showed us that philosophy didn't have to exist in a vacuum, separate from the rest of life, but could coexist with other facets of human existence, including religion. The medieval period showed us how philosophy could coexist with religious beliefs. A fascinating journey, isn't it? But hold on to your hats because our philosophical journey is far from over. Next, we enter the Enlightenment, a time of reason and revolution. This period, spanning the 17th and 18th centuries, was a turning point in the history of philosophy. The Enlightenment, also known as the Age of Reason, was characterized by a shift away from reliance on tradition and religious authority and towards individualism, skepticism, and above all, the use of reason and empirical evidence. An important figure of this era was René Descartes, a French philosopher known for his rationalist ideas. Descartes is often credited with being the father of modern philosophy. His famous dictum, cogito ergo sum, or I think, therefore I am, encapsulates the Enlightenment's emphasis on individual consciousness and rationality. He believed that through systematic doubt and the power of reason, we can arrive at certain knowledge. Then there was John Locke, an English philosopher who championed empiricism. Locke's philosophy was built on the belief that all knowledge comes from experience and observation. He proposed the concept of tabula rasa, or blank slate, suggesting that the human mind at birth is a blank canvas, and all knowledge is the result of individual experience. Lastly, we cannot discuss the Enlightenment without mentioning Immanuel Kant. This German philosopher sought to reconcile rationalism and empiricism. Kant argued that while all our knowledge begins with experience, it doesn't necessarily arise out of experience. He proposed that our minds are equipped with certain categories or concepts that structure our experience. These philosophers and their groundbreaking ideas represented a seismic shift in philosophy. They questioned established norms and encouraged people to think independently, to question, and to reason. It was a time of intellectual awakening, where philosophy became more accessible to the common man, and not just the realm of scholars and theologians. The Enlightenment era redefined philosophy, placing reason at its forefront. It challenged us to question, to seek evidence, to reason, and above all, to think for ourselves. This era of enlightenment illuminated the path for the evolution of modern philosophy and continues to influence our thought processes to this day. Finally, we arrive at the modern era, where philosophy continues to evolve. As we step into the modern era, philosophy continues to grow, branching out into different schools of thought, each with its own unique perspectives and theories. Among these are existentialism, pragmatism, and analytic philosophy. Let's start with existentialism, a school of thought that emerged in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. It emphasizes individual existence, freedom, and choice. A key figure in this movement was Friedrich Nietzsche, a German philosopher who famously declared, "God is dead." Nietzsche's work explores the consequences of this death, leading to a focus on personal responsibility and the meaning of life as created by the individual. Next, we have pragmatism, a philosophy that originated in the United States around the same time. Pragmatism focuses on the practical application of ideas by acting on them to actually test them in human experiences. It argues that concepts are only valid if they have practical utility. The third school of thought we'll touch on is analytic philosophy. This school emphasizes clarity and argumentation, and it's characterized by a focus on logical analysis of language. Ludwig Wittgenstein, an Austrian-British philosopher, was one of the pioneers of this movement. Wittgenstein believed that philosophical problems arise from misunderstandings of the use of language, and that the way to solve these problems is through careful examination of our language itself. Lastly, we have Jean-Paul Sartre, a French philosopher known for his existentialist works. Sartre proposed that humans are condemned to be free, suggesting that with freedom comes a profound responsibility to shape our own destiny. His works remind us of the significance of personal choice and the weight of existence. Modern philosophy, with its diverse schools of thought, shows us the limitless possibilities of philosophical inquiry. These movements and philosophers have shaped modern philosophy and continue to influence our understanding of the world. The beauty of philosophy lies in its ability to evolve and adapt, constantly offering new ways to interpret the world around us. So, where does philosophy stand today? Philosophy in the 21st century is far from being an antiquated discipline. It's very much alive, thriving, and continues to shape our understanding of the world. It's not just about pondering existential questions or debating abstract theories. Today, philosophy plays an instrumental role in helping us navigate the labyrinth of complex issues that characterize our modern world. Take artificial intelligence, for instance. As we stand on the brink of a technological revolution, philosophy steps in to help us grapple with the ethical and moral implications of AI. It prompts us to ask, how should we program self-driving cars to respond in potential accident scenarios? What rights should an AI entity have? These are questions that require philosophical scrutiny, not just technological expertise. Similarly, bioethics, another field where philosophy is indispensable. As we push the boundaries of biological sciences, delving into areas like genetic engineering and cloning, philosophy helps us to reflect on the moral and ethical dimensions of these advancements. It encourages us to consider the implications of our actions and to weigh the potential benefits against the risks. Now, let's consider social justice, a topic that's at the forefront of many discussions today. Philosophy is pivotal in framing our understanding of justice and equality. It fosters critical thinking, enabling us to question societal norms and prejudices. It guides us in our quest to create a society that is fair, equitable, and inclusive. In each of these instances, philosophy serves as a moral compass, guiding us through ethical dilemmas and complex issues. It encourages us to question, to reflect, and to engage in meaningful discourse. It teaches us to think critically and to make reasoned judgments. So, to answer our initial question, philosophy today is not just about contemplating the meaning of life or the nature of reality. It's about applying philosophical thought to real-world issues, about making sense of the complexities of our modern world. In our rapidly changing world, philosophy remains as relevant as ever. So, what have we learned about philosophy? Quite a lot, actually. We've taken a journey through time, tracing the footsteps of great thinkers that have shaped our understanding of the world, ourselves, and our place within it all. Let's recap the highlights. We started with the birth of philosophy in ancient times. Here we learned that philosophy, literally translating to love of wisdom, emerged as a way for humans to make sense of the world around them. The ancient Greeks, such as Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, challenged the conventional wisdom of their time and sought to answer life's biggest questions through reason and debate. Next, we ventured into the Middle Ages, where philosophy intertwined with religion, and thinkers like St. Augustine and Thomas Aquinas explored the relationship between faith and reason. They grappled with concepts such as morality, free will, and the existence of God, setting up the groundwork for centuries of philosophical debate. From there, we moved forward to the Enlightenment era, a time of revolution in thought. Philosophers like Descartes, Locke, and Kant challenged traditional authority and advocated for reason, evidence, and individual rights. They asked us to question everything and to place our trust not in dogma, but in our own ability to think critically and objectively. Our journey then brought us to modern philosophy and the thinkers who have shaped our contemporary understanding of the world. Thinkers like Nietzsche, Sartre, and Beauvoir explored existentialism, questioning our purpose and the meaning of life. Meanwhile, others like Russell and Wittgenstein delved into the intricacies of language and logic, showing how our ways of thinking are deeply intertwined with the ways we communicate. Finally, we looked at philosophy today, a field as diverse and complex as the world it seeks to understand. contemporary philosophers continue to grapple with age-old questions while also addressing new ones brought about by advancements in technology, science, and social change. Throughout this journey, we've seen how philosophy continually evolves, reflecting the changing times and shaping our understanding of the world. It has reminded us of the importance of questioning, of seeking wisdom, and of striving for a deeper understanding of our existence. But perhaps most importantly, we've seen how philosophy is not just an academic discipline, but a way of life. It's about asking the big questions. Who are we? Why are we here? What is the meaning of life? And while we may not always find the answers, it's the act of questioning, of seeking understanding that truly matters. So, as we conclude this journey, remember this. Philosophy is not just a set of doctrines or theories. It's a quest for wisdom, a pursuit of truth, and a way to navigate our lives. It's about understanding the world and our place within it. Remember, philosophy is not just about understanding the world, but also about understanding our place in it. Thank you for watching.